Yo, what's up guys? Felix from Giant Lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I took a mini vacation that I cut short and we're back to the grind, man. We're back to making consistent content all about financial freedom, all about creating that giant lifestyle you deserve. And in this video, I'm actually driving. So the first half of the video, I really won't be paying attention to the camera, but I'm pulling up to my destination soon. So that won't be an issue. But hear the message out and stay for the entire video because we're going to be talking about, does money solve all your problems? Is money the answer to everything going wrong in your life? A lot of people think that, well, if I just had more money, well, if I just had this amount of money, or if I just had this much in my account, I wouldn't have to worry. I wouldn't have to worry about living in a neighborhood I didn't want to live in. I wouldn't have to worry about being short on my bills. I wouldn't have debt. I wouldn't have to deal with those problems that just come up. I remember when I was flat broke, right? And let me know who can relate to this, right? When I was flat broke, right? Something would be wrong with my car. So I'd fix my car. And then once I fixed my car, something else would break. And then I would fix it. And then I'd have another problem. And then I'd have another problem, and another problem, and another problem, and another problem, and another problem. And it just felt like the problems were never ending. It didn't matter what happened every time. And this is like paycheck days, talking about like when I used to still work a job. It just felt like time and time and time and time and over and over and over and over. It doesn't matter how many, what was going on. I was always just getting faced with problems, and I never had enough money to fix those problems. And I always tell people that your life doesn't actually change, and that little paycheck problem circle that you go in doesn't end until you 10x your bills. So if your bills are $2,000 a month, go make $20,000. If your bills are $3,000 a month, go make $30,000. If your bills are $5,000 a month, go make $50,000. When you do that, when you live that, when you have that much income coming in, that's when your entire life changes, and that paycheck problem circle ends. It ends. But when you make $1,000 a week, or if you make $800 a week, or you make $700 a week, or even if you make $1,500 a week, and your bills are, so that comes out to $6,000 a month, and your bills are $4,000, you're more or less going to fall into that trap of paycheck problem. But what happens when you do make 10 extra bills? And maybe you don't have to make 10 extra bills. Maybe that's a bit much, but think big, right? Think big and make 10 extra bills and watch how your life changes like no other, right? Make 10 extra bills and watch what happens. But when you do make 10 extra bills, and now you don't have to worry about maybe your girlfriend calling for money, or maybe your boyfriend calling for money, or maybe your landlord who doesn't treat you right, or maybe any type of situation, man. There's so many situations in life. Or maybe your aunt says, hey, I need to borrow something, or your uncle, or your parents, or you have an old bill that you forgot about, or it's just the bills of life. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. But when you're able to pay those, the one thing that a lot of people don't expect, and now they're past the paycheck problem circle, what happens is you get bigger problems, right? So to me, back in the day, $100 would hurt me, right? $100 would, I didn't have too many of those $100 mistakes I could make, more or less, right? So $100 would hurt me. Now, $100 really isn't nothing to me. I could go take out $100 as many times as I want. It's not going to do nothing to me, right? But nonetheless, when you get to a position of true financial freedom, and where you're not in that paycheck problem circle, you just get bigger problems. So yes, what money does and what financial resources allows you to do is it just allows you to deal with your problems easier. If I have an old bill that I forgot about, and it's say $500, maybe whatever it was, right? So I remember when I moved, I forgot to pay one of my utility bills. So the utility company ended up sending it to collections, and I just paid it. It was no issue. But something like that back in the day, where I'm only making $1,000 a week, and say I already budgeted all my bills for that week, that might be something that could really hurt me. So what I'm trying to say is, when you make money and you start making a lot of it, the problems don't go away. It's not like, now I'm making a bunch of money. I make 5-6K a week, or 8 to 10K a week, or however much you're making, and you don't have no issues. In fact, you have bigger issues. It's bigger problems, bigger expenses, and more pressure. Now, the pressure, there's a lot of pressure when you're broke. I could remember numerous times where I'm like, my car isn't working and I don't have the money to fix it. And, I would much rather be in a position like I'm in now where, wow, now I have to dish out, say for, maybe my parents need money. And, for me, when it comes to my parents, it's no question. If they need money, snap of a finger, I help them out. But back in the day, I couldn't help them out. And that's what I said in one of my videos where I paid off my parents' house, where, in the beginning, you have to be selfish because you can't help somebody because you can't help nobody. But what I'm saying is, yes, money will assist you in your problems. Money will help, but it's not going to solve all your problems. If you're not happy, you're not going to be happy with millions. It doesn't matter. Money really just makes you more of who you already are, but it's not going to make you super happy. You could be a millionaire and be miserable. But we're not talking about, money and happiness. I think that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother conversation. But to answer, will it solve all your problems? Yes, it will solve some of your problems. Some of the little monotonous things that come with being broke or financially unstable will go away. There are things that when I was broke and had nothing that I don't deal with anymore. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't say I'm ever stressed, but it doesn't mean that I don't deal with problems, headaches, roadblocks, people asking for money. It's just a higher level of problems. So the problems never go away. The problems just get bigger. The problems just get bigger. It doesn't matter if you make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year. The problems don't go away. The problems just get bigger. But the little problems that seem to never end, the little petty problems, those go away. Like that paycheck problem cycle goes away. I remember like when I used to have a job and I was making maybe a couple $100 a week or even $1,000 a week, right? Problem, paycheck, paycheck. That's not really a world I live in anymore. But the problems don't go away. The bills don't go away. In fact, they just get bigger. The problems get bigger. The bills get bigger. The responsibilities get bigger. People who count on you get larger. So you're just stepping into a new world, which is a world that I would take any day over the life of, am I going to pay my rent this month or am I going to fix my car? So you don't ever have to deal with stuff like that, but you do have to deal with issues because the issues never stop. So that's a video I just wanted to cover because I think a lot of people look past and think that, once they become successful, there's no worries, there's no issues. They live a stress-free life. And, it's easier, but the problems are bigger. It's more responsibilities. It could be more headache. It could be more stress. It's not these little problems. It's big problems. So, but it's I've been in situations where it's like, I appreciate the big problem 1,000 times more than ever having to think, to even be in that situation. So you get put in situations where you might think, wow, I'm lucky to even be in this situation, right? Like, okay, now I have to join this mastermind, and do I want to put 25K into maybe crypto, or do I want to put 25K, I have 25K to invest, do I want to put 25K into a mastermind, or do I want to put it into the market, or do I want to put it into real estate? So it's like, you get put into larger situations, but the problems never stop, but the petty problems stop. That paycheck problem cycle, that goes away, but you still have, you still have issues, you still have problems, you still have life. Life is just life. Life isn't fair, but it is what it is. But, that is what it is, and, your bills just get bigger, your responsibilities get bigger, but, I would rather be in that position any day of the week than, not being able to fix my car or not being able to pay my rent. So there you guys have it. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. Back to making daily, consistent content. Again, thank you guys so much for the support, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.